internship or capstone or culminating experience in the summer is there's not as many weeks as there are in a fall or spring semester. So we're a little bit more under the gun with that happening. With that said, I know that I want to revisit Stephanie. Are you still internship coordinator at FSU? Okay. You don't want your audio to be on?
Oh, I was moving some things around trying to get paper, so that's why I turned it off.
I just want, to tell us what you're doing.
Oh, my actual role, what I do now?
Yeah.
So I'm the internship coordinator at FSU for the Study Abroad Office, which is the international programs. And so what I do is that I help students get internships abroad. So it can be generally students from any major per se, but basically helping them find internships, which is kind of a hybrid because FSU owns facilities overseas. They actually have staff hired to manage those facilities. And so the staff members are the ones making the connections with employers, while I am really doing the marketing piece and all the administrative responsibilities before students actually go abroad. But then once they're on the ground, as far as finding their internship placement, and once they're on the ground and taking care of them, that is a staff overseas.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Betty, you're retired now, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
From Buck Lake?
Right, from Buck Lake.
Okay.
I did 36 years in education.
Okay. I think
so I was an assistant principal at the time I retired.
Okay. So you've got some administrative experience as well as teaching experience. So.
Right. So I did attend FAMU, my undergrad and my master's, and plus I did an EDS at Florida State.
Okay. I'm recording this so I can get this to Sheila. Well, there, I think she just popped in. So
yeah, she said she was downloading it. She said her computer was downloading really slow.
And I think in the meantime, Dr. Stewart has joined us too. Is that correct, Dr. Stewart?
That is correct.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me, Dr. White.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for attending. So, Sheila, are you there now?
I am, but I don't see video right now. It's just saying launching for me. Let me click again. It's just slow this morning. Can you all see me?
No.
Let me get this. It's asking me to go through my account, I guess. I see you all, though.
Yeah, there's a button that says stop video down in the bottom.
I've not gotten to that point. It's asking me to sign in from my side. Okay, I guess I see you guys now. Well, almost.
Okay, if you can see, that's fine, because
Not yet.
Oh, you can't see anything yet.
I see you all on a side screen. Okay, now let's see.
Major screen. Do you see me in the major screen?
Well, it keeps clicking off for some reason. Saw you all just a moment ago. And when I tried to get to the unmute button, it clicked off. Mm-hmm. But I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm recording this, so I will make the recording available because we got to get going here.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, we'll fix it.
Okay, here I am. Okay. What is? I don't know. It keeps clicking off when I get ready to unmute video. Go ahead.
So, Sheila, you're still at 5th grade DRS, correct?
I am not.
What you doing now?
I am Pineview
Pineview.
Yes, Pineview, first grade, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be moved. There have been no assignments as of yet.
Okay. So first, I want to congratulate you for all getting to this point. It's a long haul to get through this, and you guys have done very well. I've had you in a few classes. There's she is.
Okay, got it.
And we've,
Good morning.
you've come a long way, and this is, the culminating experience, and I'm going to try to make this as painless yet rigorous as possible. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be here all summer. I'll have office hours every Friday because it seems to be a good time. I'll have Zoom office hours every Friday from 10 to 11, unless something comes up, and I'll let you know. I'm doing a lot of 3D printing, so I'm using my time off to make masks, and this is my latest 3D printed mask.
Yeah.
Buckeye colors. So,
Oh,
so with that said, let's get started. Now, you're all coming from different backgrounds, and I revisited your introductions from a class we did last summer, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was there. So I'm gonna share my screen, and let me get this bad stuff off my Facebook off my screen first. I don't want you to see all that mess. And we're gonna go into the Blackboard, and we'll see what I've come up with. So you can all see the screen now?
yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So when you click on here, I've added a course modules page, and I've only got the first one getting started on there. So the whole point of this capstone is for you to do some type of action research with a problem you see in whatever educational world you're in. Sheila's actively teaching. Stephanie's actively internship coordinator, and Betty's retired, but I think you still have, work you want to do and things you want to see fixed and stuff like that. And that's kind of the point of this, is to see, is to look at your environment, your educational environment, see what you think needs fixing, or there's a problem that you think you can help with. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to do some action research. So the other, we had another way of doing it. It was very convoluted. So I'm actually retooling this right now. But again, we only have 12 weeks, so we don't have a lot of time like we would regularly in the fall and the summer. So we got to get moving. So I've got this getting started module here, and for next week, for next Friday, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I want an initial proposal, which is deciding what you want to do your research on. So you need to, take the weekend to think about, what you want to do. Okay. You're going to need a customer. You're going to need a person that is you can work with in your educational world. I'm going to call it that. And what you think the outcomes might be. Okay. So this is really just an initial proposal, 2 pages, double spaced, 12-point New Roman font. Okay. And this is going to be actually our textbook. It's called the Action Research Booklet. So it's going to help us a lot. So I'm going to open that up, and it's about 22 pages, and it says in your classroom, but I've read it, and it's really for anything. And it's got a design process of how to do this, and I'm just going to go over a couple things. it's just what action research is in terms of, you want to see something change or continue to grow something or do, there's a lot of different things you can do. So it's a circular design, really making the commitment, of what you want to do. You've got to make the decision, make the commitment, then design the study, make sense of the experience, not only for you, but your readers. Possibly do some feedback and begin again. Assessment type things here. And I know you all taken the assessment stuff and all that, and improving your practice. 5, and it's just a circular design. So it's really what is action research in your world? It's to improve teaching and learning in your world, to the action and its consequences. It's typically designed by practitioners who analyze data from their workplace to improve their own practice. So that's what I'm talking about here. This is something you want to do that's going to potentially help you in your world. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff here as far as these 5 things go, and how to make the commitment to the inquiry, designing the study, and so forth and so on. Now this, this is a typical timeline. This is very long. This is actually over 2 semesters. We don't have that luxury. So, we're going to do something really fast. And so you just want to go over this. It's a really kind of a quick read, and it's just going to be something you're going to want to refer to as you move forward. Okay. Ultimately, you are going to write something like this. Okay. I put these in here, action research examples. And what we're looking at here is these are actually proposals, 22-page proposals. You're going to do this as your write-up. Okay. You're going to use this template as your write-up. Okay. We're not going to have time to do a form. You're going to do your initial proposal this week. I'm going to approve it, and you're going to start moving forward. Ultimately, you're going to be doing something similar to this. I just want you to see what you're in for. And this is, all APA and all that stuff, and the headings and all that stuff. It has a review of literature that you need to do, and you've written so much to this point. You should have a good database of literature that you've looked at and analyzed and all those types of things. So this shouldn't be that big of a deal for you. And then really, the analysis, how you went through it, or the methods, how you want to go about it, how you went about it, and all that stuff, and how you analyzed it so that it makes sense for you and everybody that's involved, and then a conclusion. Okay. So then this, instead of proposed action, it would be the action you took. Okay. And it's got all this stuff. Again, these are just samples. There's 3 of them. You are not like tied to doing exactly this, but I want you to use these as guides. The best thing that I did, and I'm sure Dr. Pitts-Bannister would agree with me, is that when we were going through our masters and dissertations and stuff, one of the first things we did was look at what everybody else was doing in our field. So these are tied to education. They're very good. They're very well written. So these are really good templates for you to look at. Okay. And then what I want you to do also is look at these. Again, you're just writing an initial proposal for next Friday. That's just going to be a 2-pager, but it's going to be something and it's not going to really involve literature reviews or anything like that. It's really like, stating the design problem, stating your commitment, what you want to do. And in that too, I want you to look at this needs assessment template, because we're not going to have time to do a formal needs assessment. But I want you to sprinkle in some of this stuff. So statement, purpose, situation, who's the audience, how all this stuff, some of this stuff may not be applicable, but basically, what's the situation? Who's in the situation? For example, Sheila, is going to probably do something with a classroom situation. How many people could this potentially affect? Things of that nature. And then the goals, what do you expect to get from this? What new skills, actions, behavior are you trying to elicit from this audience? Okay. So I hope this has helped you understand a little bit about what you're going to do and what's going to be expected of you. At integral times throughout the semester, we will meet as a group or individually. I will always be available on Fridays from 10 to 11 for you to talk to me. And that seems to be a good time for us. Is that correct, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll stick to that, and then we'll get through this. Now, anybody have any questions so far?
No, and all of these documents as a needs assessments available as a template that we can download and
Yeah, they're all
package
in Blackboard here.
Okay.
So there's a Blackboard for this course, and I wanted to
I see it.
I think I explained to you all that this was supposed to be a bona fide course that was formally not independent study, but because we didn't have 4 people, that class wouldn't make, so they switched you all to independent study. But
Okay.
I'm doing it the same way I would be doing it if it was the bona fide course. So you're all ILAs, and I want you to all talk to each other too. You should all get your phone numbers, and I know a couple of you know each other's numbers, but you should all, you're all going through this together. And when I was going through my dissertation experience at Ohio State, I had my fellow colleagues that were doing the same thing, or they might have been ahead of me a little bit or whatever, and it was a comfort for me to be able to talk to these people, to get advice from them. Because if you're struggling with a problem, one of you might be able to help the other. So, and of course, I'll always be here, and I'm sure Dr. Pitts Bannister would be more than willing to hit a question you might have. But I just want to make sure this is crystal clear about what's going to be expected of you. Okay. The last thing is going to be a PowerPoint presentation of the experience. Normally we would have a formal live face-to-face presentation. We're not going to be able to do that. So you'll have a PowerPoint presentation with the Zoom, and Dr. Pitts Bannister, I'm sure, will be there. Dr. Stewart will be there, and the dean will probably be there. I'll invite everybody in the College of Ed to this thing. So that's what we normally do at the end of the semester. The poster session. So, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Right now, we want to get this thing started, get it going. And I'll entertain any questions right now that you might have so far. Nothing? Okay.
No, I don't have any questions right now. I just need to, absorb the information.
Yep.
But we'll be using Blackboard for submission, because I noticed on FAMU instruction something, the course was listed on there as well.
The Canvas?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not going to use Canvas this semester.
Okay.
We're going to use Blackboard.
Okay.
I've, along with several of my colleagues, have not delved into that yet. I'll be doing that all summer, getting acclimated with that. So
Okay.
right now we're going to be doing Blackboard. And So I would suggest you guys know how to use Group Me.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Okay. So Stephanie and Betty, maybe you can get Sheila up to date on that. And, you know, you can guys start a class, Group Me, and that's the way you guys can communicate with each other really fast. I mean, it's just a messaging app, Sheila, that's,
Mhm.
you know, avoids messaging, and you can have several people on it. So you might want to consider doing that so you guys can keep in touch, see how you guys are getting along. Okay.
Okay.
I really love the collaborative thing. I was toying with you guys doing a collaborative action research together, but I don't think that we're going to go singular here. So, but we'll see. All right. If there's no more questions, you have the module 1 getting started. I'll have module 2 up next Friday of how you'll proceed from there. Dr. Pittsbanis, do you have any input, questions, anything?
Yes, I would like to, again, along with Dr. Stewart, thank you for allowing me and Dr. Stewart to be a part of the discussion. And like to commend you, Dr. White, for really organizing this in a way that the students can engage in light of the COVID-19 experience that we have right now. I really think that the way it's organized, that you will gather the similar and actually the same skills that students would gather by going back and forth with clients, doing a typical day-to-day, being able to engage face-to-face and so forth, beyond or without the COVID-19 restrictions. So for that, Dr. White, thank you. And I think the students will learn quite a bit in this setting with the action research context. And I'm hopeful that you see me as a resource as well as you see Dr. White. Please feel free to send emails. And definitely I am here to assist in any way that I can. But I look forward to the PowerPoint presentations and the great things that will come out of this experience. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I want to end on this thing. Thank you, Dr. Pittsbanis, because he brought up the COVID-19 thing. This is good action research stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. This is good stuff to you know, this is a major problem happening right now that maybe it's something you could do. You might want to consider doing your research on. Okay. Because you're all coming from a little bit different backgrounds, but it's all education, and this COVID-19 is affecting everybody in education. So I'm not saying you have to do that, but it's something you might want to consider. Okay, with that said, I'm going to end the meeting. Keep in touch. I'm always available via email. If you call my office phone, yeah, probably won't get it. But I'm available. Email. Anytime you want to meet, I'll be there. But I will be up online next Friday from 10 to 11. Okay, if you have any questions. And I look forward to your initial proposals.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How do I get out of here? Let's see. Stop the share. Okay, there we go.
Bye-bye, everybody.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Stay safe, y'all.
All right. You too. Thank you.
You too.
Dr. PB, you just want to stay on? Well, I guess not. We're supposed to have a meeting. So. All right. I guess we're going to do it another way. All right, y'all.